it's part of the process.
End it. Kill it. No.
Jordan loves this.
This is too much. That wasn't even a clean ending.
Well, sometimes art's not that clean, Cara.
Do you
Sometimes art
hold your
is.
breath
That
while
is
you do
so
that?
beautiful.
I can tell because your nostrils flare out and then they just get stuck like that.
Okay, let's start the show.
Okay, well, I just do.
And they
I
don't
mean,
go back.
Okay, my
to
nostrils are not
baseline.
necessarily connected to.
We'll get into that.
the breathing. Are
She's
they?
an SLP now, so she's monitoring everything you're doing now.
Can't wait to ask you about that. Welcome back to What the Podcast. What the Podcast, not what the podcast.
We have a rival now on YouTube.
we do.
Oh gosh.
Well,
we
welcome
bringing
back
that up
to
right now?
What the
Okay.
Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch as always. Producer Cara Tafolla, and this week standing in, standing in.
Standing in.
Annie the Skovmand. We've got Jordan Albright for the first time on this show.
Oh, that's right. You were Jordan Teagarden when you first were on the show.
know.
That's right.
Now,
So good.
Jordan Albright.
How does it feel?
Great.
We were just saying last week that Cara Tafolla is finally ringing kind of normal.
Okay.
Yeah. For the first, really, the last couple weeks, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's normal. It took a long time for me to be like, oh, wait, no, that's Cara, Philly.
And now Jordan Albright is with us.
Yeah. We still haven't finished the name change process.
So she's
Like,
still
all the legal
legally,
Kind of saucy.
Yeah.
Wait,
Takes
so
forever.
the
Yeah.
name change or the
No, the marriage license is all set.
Squared away.
We're good to go.
Totally
yeah,
good. So-
it's
so
the
you're
name
good.
change. Because that's something they don't tell you. Well, at least I didn't know
Yeah.
about when you get married is they're separate documents. I
Social
kind of thought when you got
Security,
married,
DMV.
you just it was just all easy, but they're kind of separate processes, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Yeah, Cara was Cara Philly for quite a while after we were married as well.
Nuh-uh.
Weren't you?
No, I changed it quick.
You didn't get your driver's license.
Well, what's funny is that I was told
Or your
that
Social Security.
in order to get your driver's license, you had to get your Social Security first because it's a
Right.
form of identification. But when I went to the DMV, they didn't even ask for my Social Security. So I went through the whole make an appointment for Social Security, wait for that card to come, then to get my
she
license
waited
process.
to use it, and they didn't even ask for it.
Dang.
My name
Interesting.
was officially changed within a month and a half.
Well,
It's kind of
within a month and a half.
It's kind
Yeah.
of weird that we're at the stage where all our friends are kind of getting married and the names are changing. Like the other day, I was texting. We Jordan and I worked her wedding. It's a mutual friend of ours, and I was like, "Oh, that's so and so," and I was like, "Oh wait, I guess it's now." And I heard insert the new last name, and I was like, "It's weird that." You grow up knowing people and then their name change and you're like, wait, I guess I call you the new name, but I'm still kind of attached to the old name. I don't know.
I have known Kat Pinning for years and years and years, and I've now known her longer as Kat Pinning. But every once in a while, it'll slip up,
The
and
Kat
I'll say
Brown.
Cat Brown because I
Yep.
knew her for.
She's in my phone as Cat
Yeah.
Brown still.
Yeah.
I told her, I was like, do you want me to change it? And she's like, I don't care.
I don't
so
think I
funny.
ever had her phone number when she was Cat Brown, but I always knew her as Cat Brown.
Interesting.
Yep. Well, Jordan, you're here, and
Here.
this is Relationship Tracker number 3.
Oh, God.
Just kidding. We don't have to talk about you guys and all the stuff you're going through.
No, I was going to
That's a
ask you
lot.
because we're this is like the married couples episode because
Apparently it is.
We're both married and
Whoop, whoop.
and our
Yeah.
spouses
we have
are on the
veterans
couch
here,
today.
though.
Yes.
So.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
do you need any marriage
No, I
advice
was-
from a...
I was going to ask you guys because I was kind of thinking about it today, prepping for the episode. We're both in the same phase of, moving in together
Yes.
as far as not the four of us separately, obviously, but in
No,
our
the four of us.
relationships, moving in together and doing all the new married stuff.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any fights, not fights, but little disagreements about things around the house at all ever when
there
you guys
something
first?
you want to
Oh,
talk
I'm going
about?
to get to ours, but I want to hear if there's anything for you guys.
Fights regarding what?
I don't know, just
Jordan-
the way
okay,
you
let's-
do something is kind of annoying to her, to Cara, or vice versa, and it just it was something you guys always it was not a real fight because you're not really upset. But you always kind of go back and forth and chip at each other for.
Well, I mean, while we never lived together, we cohabited for years and years and years of our relationship.
Yes, that's right.
In LA and even here in San Diego, and it's
So it wasn't a hard transition.
It wasn't, but I didn't realize how much stuff Cara had.
Oh, yeah.
And I
That
feel
was-
like I don't have that much stuff. It's just clothes.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
She had
takes
a lot of
large
clothes,
portion.
so we had to literally like rebuild our closet.
Oh,
we
that's
had to
right.
blow out some like cabinet space to make room for all this clothing.
Which any two people's clothing could not fit in that
yeah,
one
of
closet
course,
anyways.
no, definitely
Yeah,
not. But
for sure.
I think
I
the
mean-
only like not fight, but like tiff
Yeah, again, it's not a fight. Like, you're not
we
upset,
had
but
was like before we were married, and he was like, "Hey, you're gonna start moving your stuff
the
in."
rate of which I
And-
wanted Cara to move in was
and I was like,
different than hers.
I need like specific spots for all my stuff before I.
Well, we
bring
know
it.
Ryan,
Well-
0 to 100. You know,
I think you were kind of sandbagging me a little bit.
What does that mean?
sandbagging
like
you.
you were. That was. I felt. Correct me if I'm wrong. I
I
felt
love
that
this.
that was a way to put off, like inevitably moving in with me. Was like, well, I don't know
That's
if
probably
like
how you felt, but I
I'm
just wanted to
ready
wait until
to-
after we were married.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. There wasn't not a space for you. I was ready to make a space for
Yeah,
you, but
which
you were like,
that's like my thing is like I wanted to go into the house and be like, okay, this is where this is gonna go.
Now I live
you were
here.
kind of
brought it
overhauling
all.
it. Yeah, you wanted to
Yeah.
like do the reno and then move in kind of thing.
and I was
Yeah.
like, we got engaged, and I was like, hey, so do you want to like
Sorry, we were
leave some clothes here? Or? And she was like, no.
Oh, that's good. Well, ours is
Let's hear it.
a tale as old as time. It's the toilet seat.
Can I?
Have you heard about this?
Have I heard about the toilet seat?
No,
I'm
like,
familiar.
like the
Do you know
different-
what a toilet seat is?
No, like
No.
there's this whole like I feel like we talked to couples and everybody has this thing where it's like, you know, when like guys they lift the toilet seat up, right?
Yes.
and
Sometimes.
women expect men to put it back down for them
as a courtesy,
as a courtesy
because women
well, which is-
allegedly don't look at the toilet before they sit down, so
Thank
they just
you.
go to directly sit down. And
Thank you.
If
This
there's no
is-
seat there,
Middle of the
they'll
night.
die.
middle of the night. Okay,
But
go
you
ahead.
guys also,
Go ahead.
when you don't have to pee, you also have to have the seat down. So
Yeah,
I feel like that's
you're
a
right.
neutral spot with the seat down.
I mean, it kind of goes both ways, right? So
And-
why would? Yeah, no, you're right. Like if I go to the bathroom and I have to pee, I lift the toilet seat up.
yeah.
So what should I get mad that the toilet seat's down? Like I always have to lift it up.
That's the
Fair.
question that we've been having because everyone.
What is neutral position?
Oh, I'm so glad
That
you
is
said
the
that.
question.
Thank you.
Let me. Okay.
I'll let
John
you get 30
thinks
seconds.
that because he has to put the work in to
Okay.
lift the seat up.
Got it. You
that
should also
I
put
should
the
have
effort
to
in.
put the equal amount of effort. So when he's done, he's going to put the lid down,
The
or
seat
the
and
seat
the lid.
down, and the
Both.
lid.
Interesting, because that's
That's neutral.
Now, see, that brings me to my answer, which is neutral position is seat down, lid down.
Yeah, neutral.
So
because
that-
then we both do the same work. I come in,
I
I lift the
disagree.
lid.
So when you go
And
into the
seat.
bathroom, you want like the lid is just open. In your perfect world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me
Cara, weigh
pipe
in.
in
Thank
just
you.
a little bit.
By the way, I cannot believe we're having this conversation right now. This is the so stereotypical
Can we put
like
a poll here?
married couples.
Do you guys do a
Oh yeah,
poll?
poll.
This hey,
Insert.
we're gonna do an Instagram poll. We're running it right now as we speak.
We need equal men and
we
women
are.
participating.
Which
Otherwise,
I'm not sure if our audience is, but let's okay.
We,
We'll try.
I
Go
feel
ahead.
like we always kept the lid up, but we had to start putting it down all the time because the cats started
Cats.
getting in there.
Yeah.
They did actually make that decision for us.
They did.
Is
Yeah.
that our
so
cats
maybe that's
wanted
why
to
you avoided the
drink in
problem.
toilet.
Because every couple that we've like, you know, we like again, it's like a fun like conversation. Like, oh, like you know, again, it's not serious.
Like
obviously.
you said, it's a tale as old as time.
Right, and everyone goes, and this is what I don't like about the whole scenario is everyone goes just like, "Hey, man, you got to put it down." Like the wife's always right, kind of thing. And it's like,
Yes.
is that really the answer? You know,
John
like,
is the black sheep of the world. If one person
quote,
says,
end quote.
end quote, quote, end
John,
quote,
you're
He's the
saying
black sheep of
John
the world.
is the exception.
Is-
Everyone else thinks one way, and John.
and John needs
the
to go
first-
against the grain. So I'm not even sure he truly believes
No, I
that it
believe
should
it.
be in
I'll
a
die
neutral
by it.
position. He just needs to go against the grain.
And listen,
She's not wrong.
I will say that I am a little bit of like that personality type where I just don't like that the answer is this is just how it is. And there's no room for change or like or adjustment. Like this is just how the world works.
Okay.
And I hate
Okay.
that.
I'm absolutely with you in that I feel like we're breaking a lot of ground in the world of like feminism, right?
Yeah, so get me equal pay and then I'll put the lid down.
Absolutely agree. I think we everyone should get paid the same, and everyone should just be, put in the seat. Well, you're just gonna like leave it up like a crazy person, right? No, close the toilet.
Listen, I'm not even asking I'm not even saying that I should just be able to lift it up and walk away. I'm saying if the toilet goes to neutral position every time you're done using it, everyone does the same amount of work, and then I don't have to go, oh, I should put the seat down in preparation for my wife to come in here.
You should just do it just because that's what you do.
Yeah, because that would be selfless. You
No,
don't want to do that.
I say reject that. I say do it because everyone does it, not men and not women. But we have to, if we're going to be feminists, we have to reject gender roles.
You're
I told
being
her,
a feminist
I said,
in this
the
instant.
reason I'm passionate about it
don't
is
put
because
down the
I'm a
seat
feminist.
because men don't put down the seat. Put down the seat because that's what a tax-paying American does.
Thank you.
I think it matters if
What
you
does?
care about it.
What do you mean?
That's one thing I don't care about.
You don't care about where the seat is when you are about to go to the bathroom?
I mean, the only thing that it's like when it's all the way up, if it's like a little bit dirty, I'm like, whatever.
What do you care about that happens in the house?
Oh, yeah, that Ryan maybe doesn't do.
Maybe I do or don't do. Because I've got one for you.
Oh.
And I'm
This is the marriage
and
episode.
I'm falling into the stereotype of,
Thank you.
Of like whatever.
Well, and
I
you-
don't want to say like
Oh,
dad.
he doesn't
this is
hang
a-
his towel back up.
No. Okay. Fair.
He puts it on
Fair.
the door, like our bedroom door.
That's
He'll put it on
literally
the
Maybe
John.
I'll maybe I'll use it again.
And his pants.
I even
he
bought-
doesn't hang up his clothes.
I just bought a
That's
wall
true.
hook and he still hangs it
No,
on
I
the
used the
door.
wall hook today, actually. So,
Oh,
thanks.
got
No,
it.
yeah, that's my main
Where's
thing.
the where's
is
the wall
that
hook?
when Ryan
On the door.
on the door.
The back
Which
of the
is
door?
just
Yeah.
like hanging on the
Oh.
door almost, right? I mean,
yeah,
just got a
that's fine.
special hook
But
now.
like kind of different. There's a saucy
I
little
told
hook on
you
the
I
back.
knew how ridiculous that seemed.
I know. It was
No,
fun.
But now you can close the door.
That doesn't bug me as much as when he takes off his pants
Yep.
and he'll either leave them on the side of the bed or he'll fold them
ready position?
and put them on top of the dresser
Like a fireman.
he's gonna wear it the next day.
My
Yeah,
clothes
yeah, yeah.
I don't
are all
care
over
that
the
you're gonna
floor.
wear it the next day. Just hang it up.
But
I'm with you, Ryan.
right?
They're on the floor.
Thank you.
but
Thank
then
you.
but then 3 days later he has
Cara
3
and I
pairs of
match on that.
pants piled up
So-
on the
Have you seen
dresser.
our room?
When you get home, where do your pants go when you take them off?
No,
Wherever I take them off.
listen, Ryan, I'm the type of guy, I'm not like super weird about it.
Sure.
I take my clothes off next to the bed. Like, I totally get it. Like, in the bedroom, like, just take off your clothes, whatever. Throw them in the hamper later.
Yes.
Get it, right?
Yeah.
What my wife does
Okay.
is she'll, like, when she comes in, she'll either start to undress in the living. We live in a tiny apartment, so
Yes.
it's not, we don't have visitors, and it's just like us most of the time, right? So she'll undress when she comes in the house to
Yep.
like relax or whatever, and I get it, and it's hot, whatever. And
Yes.
so, but that is where the clothes will live until somebody else,
Until I need them.
Until
aka
anyone else
me,
in the world. Yes.
picks them up and takes them to the hamper. And like, same thing with the bathroom too. If she gets in and she goes to the bathroom, her clothes are on the bathroom floor.
See, we're proving it right now. It's not about gender. It's not women do this and men do this. It's
Yes.
just, it's just partners, right?
Yeah.
Sharing a space with somebody, and it's a rule that if you're a person that puts away your pants, you have to be married to a person that just leaves them in the middle of the room.
Yeah,
That's just the rule.
Listen, and
The law of physics, if you will.
It's the law of thermodynamics or something.
I told Jordan, I don't mind, like, I typically will do the laundry, and I'm happy to do it. Like, I'm happy to do all the little menial tasks because I love doing that stuff, and I do it because I love her, and I'm happy, and like, I like doing things to help her in that
Sure.
way. But what I don't like
Her condition.
but what makes it hard most of the time is like the toilet seat thing. For so long, she was like, every time she was in the bathroom, she would just yell from wherever I was.
No, I would slam
toilet seat. She slam it down. I'm like,
You know why?
Really?
You know why? I think it's an intimacy thing.
Really?
I think the toilet is something that is private, right? You're going. Why do you go to the toilet? To go
We're
to the bathroom?
going like back to barbaric. Like we're
This
going
is-
to
It must be, right? Because
Yeah.
why do we care so viscerally about this?
Right.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
it's like this private part of your life.
Fair.
And it's something that you share, with your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Why even make the toilet so it has the 2 options? Why not just make it a
Well,
one hole
And why don't you
Just
guys
one.
practice
You mean just
aiming
holding the
just a
ground?
little better? Like, why do you need
Yes,
that?
and when you aim,
that
just
less
clean.
than
If the seat-
an
look,
inch and
clean
a
it
half.
up.
If the seat is down, I will pee on the seat. That's
Then
not
clean it up.
that's
That's
not
not
a
even an
threat. That is a
option.
promise.
Clean it
Like,
up.
But why?
Clean it up. I always do. I do every time. Even when the seat's up, you clean it up. You take a little
John
slice of
does
toilet
not.
paper and you
That's
just
not true.
give it a little wipe
Okay.
down. Here's mine. Ready?
Go ahead. Yeah, I want to
Ready?
hear yours. I'm interested.
Is that every light in the house, if Cara had her way, every light in the house would be on.
Oh,
From
you're
now
turning
until
into that
eternity.
person, huh?
He's turning
I
into a
I am
dad.
absolutely turning because Cara will go to the bathroom and leave the bathroom light on, and all day long
It's
I'm turning
one
on the
little light
bathroom
bulb.
light.
It's one little light bulb.
And
Dude, I'm the same.
It's a difference.
So
of,
same.
Like, look, when you look at that energy bill, you see the difference. That's all
All
I'm
right,
saying.
go put your overalls on.
Yeah, I'm reverting back to agricultural.
Do you always
Dad.
wear sunglasses during this?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Well,
I
I-
forget
No,
them.
I think
I will
the
say
last,
the
like, 5
electricity
months he
thing
has.
is interesting because for the first couple of months, like I was paying for the electricity just because like she hadn't moved in, obviously,
Right.
and so in the beginning I was like, oh gosh, and you just don't know when you first have to pay an electricity bill, you just don't know what anything costs. So I'm just
Do you
like,
mind me asking? Have you guys combined your financials?
we haven't yet. Like
We're in the
like,
midst of it,
We're
that.
kind of in the middle of it, but there are things that she pays for. Like she pays for the electricity now
Got it.
that she's moved in because it's connected to her
We
account.
share finances, but we haven't like officially at the bank
Like
combined.
merged them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're
Got it, got it.
constantly we're still at the stage where we're like, we have separate accounts, but like she's sending me money, I'm sending her money, and just like it's just
Got it.
We're
It's
not
a
like
mess.
this
Thanks
is
for
my
asking.
money, this is her money,
And that's fine. No, I mean, there's 100 ways to skin a cat, right?
Yeah, but
we've gone the full, like, both our paychecks go into one account, and
Yeah.
all of the bills get paid from the one account.
Yeah,
See,
the only
that's-
thing I think we have left is like one of my credit cards. I had to pay it all the way off
To close
because
it,
it's a
yeah.
weird like
And then we added her onto
the
my credit
miles
card.
thing.
Yeah.
We were like,
Yeah.
hey, can we transfer the miles? And they were like, you need to cancel the account, like delete the account first.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to change that though because I still have Spotify like racking up on it.
Yeah.
So literally this month was like, you owe $10.
Yeah,
I'm like,
dang
oh, dang it.
Yeah, it's a cluster. Tell you that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are still in the thick of it.
yeah. She pays for electricity now, which I'm like, like I'll still turn things off. I'm still the person that goes turn the lights off, but for the most
Yeah.
part, I'm like, hey, we run the AC.
You still
Our
on
main
the,
thing is air is like what's draining
Oh
us.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our
But
electricity.
your
bill
mom
is
said this, and I
rough.
completely agree. We work too hard to come home and sweat in our own house.
Yeah.
Like if
Okay.
I want the AC on, I'm turning the AC on.
Yeah.
Dang,
I wish
that's
we
right.
had- I
mean,
wish we had
what do you
AC.
spend your money on?
Oh, you
right?
don't? You
No.
don't have
No.
AC?
Yeah, they don't have AC.
What do
AC.
you use?
No, we just have
We
like
have
ceiling
we
fans.
have ceiling fans.
And it's for we live by the beach, so there's a nice little
Oh my
breeze that
God.
comes through.
What
We
sucks
have-
is our front room
we have
gets
the,
so hot.
the AC in the apartment, and then we have a miniature AC unit
Oh my gosh.
in our room
That blows directly
that
on me.
blows directly on
That's
Jordan.
so good.
And it's because, and it's really my fault because when I sleep, I didn't know of this until like the last year. I've been talking about my sleep on this podcast since it started. But
Yes.
when I sleep, and this is like a genetic thing. It's all my family members too. My body gets so warm, it starts to
He
like
radiates
heat up.
heat.
You do. You sweat in your sleep. That's what I hear.
Crazy. And not even that, but like for her sleeping next to me, she can like feel like the
heat.
heat coming off of me. 'Cause my body just like radiates it.
horrible.
Yeah. And so that's why I got the AC unit, because I used to use it here before I moved out. And then we set it up because it was one really hot night, and now we use it every night. There's no way we're going to bed with that thing kicked
Wow.
on.
I
Yeah.
would fully do that, but if we had anything plugged in, it would blow the whole house.
Yeah, our house is old, and so our
Yeah.
breaker goes off. You know how many switches we have? 3 for the whole house.
Oh my
Very
god.
breakers.
You know what we can't
nice.
use at the same time?
What?
The toaster and the coffee machine.
Yeah, breakfast you kind of have to do on a
Yeah.
cycle.
Well, it's like a tiered thing. I
you
get
make
it.
the
Oh my
coffee, and then you
gosh.
make
Then
the
you make your toast.
and then
Then you blend a smoothie.
then you make a smoothie, but never all at once.
Oh,
Really?
I wouldn't even dare.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, and the biggest thing is the toaster and the microwave.
Oh
That
yeah,
sets it off
microwave
real
and
quick.
anything.
Microwave's
I'll
kind
tell
of
you
a
what.
Yeah.
power thing.
A multiple. What do you call it? Appliances overrated.
Yeah, come on. Who's doing that anyways?
Come on.
I will say one of the best wedding gifts we got was a toaster, because I didn't
Yes.
realize how much I like.
Did you get a toaster or an air fryer?
No, well, we got an air
Toaster. We got
fryer,
air
but
fryer,
we
too.
got like a 2-slice traditional
Oh.
toaster, which, by the way,
Classic.
Love.
I never had that growing up as a kid. I always had the toaster oven, and
really?
I always thought
Oh,
the slot one was
wow.
so cool. And so now that we have one, it's like kind of
I think that is the most ridiculous thing, those toaster ovens.
Oh, the toaster
never
ovens,
toast
yeah.
bagels, right? Like nothing.
No,
Okay,
it has
thank you.
to-
I grew up a toaster family.
Yeah.
I absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know what? And we have this air fryer toaster oven combo now, and we've ditched our toaster. Some days I want to go back. Some days
You
I want
need
to go back to
you need
toaster.
to do it like on high speed twice.
Yeah, see, that's a lot of work.
My
Really? I'm waiting
parents-
twice as
our
long for a
toaster-
toast that's half done.
Our
Come on.
toaster broke.
Oh,
And
wow.
my parents got an air fryer, and that day I was so sad because I was
Yeah.
like, I like my toast. Like I like the,
Yeah.
the like kind of burnt. Mm-hmm. So I
Yeah.
kind of got used to it.
I got used to the toaster oven as a kid because, you know, your whole life you just kind of figured it out. But I knew it. But then when I got the toaster, it was nice because I'm a big breakfast person, especially since I moved out. I loved like get up
Making
and like make
breakfast.
breakfast.
I almost had a
and
bagel last
same.
night for dinner.
I do bagels most mornings, literally, and it's not great, but I do it. And
Just a bagel
what's
day.
nice is I'll do like a breakfast sandwich, and I can like toast the bread, and then
Yes.
right as I'm finishing the egg, and everything just comes together like
Yeah.
right at the right time, and it's just something else.
Not really
was
a
the
better,
best-
not really a better feeling than that. Making
No,
that perfect
no.
egg sandwich.
No, best wedding gift you guys got?
Good question.
Oh.
I mean, we can also ask Jordan because mine was the toaster, but I'm pretty sure the toaster wasn't hers.
I like the toaster.
That's pretty
That's
good.
a good one.
Brought me a lot of joy, and I think that's probably why
Before
you
I
like-
forget it, we were such a toaster family that every morning we'd wake up and me and my 3 siblings would all eat Eggo waffles.
Yes.
And
Yes,
we
we had
had
it too.
at one point we had 4 toasters.
You do them all.
Oh,
You go
that's
4
why
wide
not?
on the Eggo because they were just 2 slots, right?
Yeah.
So
That is
8
awesome.
waffles up at a
Yeah,
time.
that's psycho. That's actually
Dang.
psycho.
It was, but
It was,
hey,
but I'm not
the
arguing
Toyas
it.
get out of the house. You know, we go quick. You get
Yeah.
your
That's so
sanctioned
interesting.
3 waffles, and then you go to school.
I remember Eggos.
God.
too.
You know when like people will say like little stories about their childhood? This isn't we're directed towards you.
Go ahead.
And you're like, "Ah,
It
that's
is.
sad. Like that's how I feel about when people say, "Oh, we had a toaster oven." Like I like toaster ovens. I'm like,
Oh, it's like, that
you-
such.
What's the sad part?
sad.
That they had
you
that they didn't grow up with a
experience-
toaster.
They didn't experience
Yeah.
the toaster as a child.
Oh,
Like, it just is
interesting.
I will
Sad
say I didn't
part.
like
a Pop Tart in a toaster.
the toaster
Yes.
oven. So I mean, I agree.
Yeah, sad.
But if you have nothing to compare it to, you're just like, yeah, we had a toaster oven and we didn't like bitch and
Yeah.
moan all day because we didn't have a toaster. We were just like,
Hey, it's
well,
the way
but
it
some
works.
people do. They were like, all we did was play jacks outside and draw with chalk. We didn't have video games. You know, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all relative, right?
Okay, tell us your wedding gift because I got something else. But
I think the best wedding gift we got was the cat tower, right? I mean,
you got a cat tower for your
Yeah.
wedding?
So, well, we put it on the registry, and Megan and Tyler got it for us. They liked it in the beginning.
oh, they still go on it.
They don't hang out in there anymore,
Oh.
though.
Oh,
They
you're being
use it-
sarcastic?
They
They
use
do-
it to
no.
get up to the
Oh
shelves.
no, I think that's the best. What do you think's the best gift we got?
Oh, she's got something else in mind.
Actually, I mean,
I don't
the air fryer is
know.
pretty great. The air fryer's pretty great.
Yeah, of course.
We have not used ours.
Oh,
We used it a couple times when we first got it.
Once, and then we
It's
you burnt
so
the sweet
nice for
Okay,
veggies.
really?
We
I'm just
burnt
Oh
sweet
yeah,
potatoes.
I
It's
burned
so
them.
good for veggies.
I'm fairly a fan of the what do you call it? The big not the crock pot, but the
Instapot?
no, it's like a
no.
cast iron Dutch oven. We got.
Oh,
I make
okay.
soups and breads in.
You like that one?
I'm kind of like a
Wow, I didn't
a
know you're such
homebody these
homemaker.
days. Yeah,
Jeez,
ask
that's
me about my
incredible.
soups and breads.
I like our comforter set.
Yeah.
I like our comforter set.
It was same. That's mine.
What else?
Anything that like you were like, oh, this is kind of like my dream situation.
I will say we took
I
some
don't know.
of our
We had to buy a lot of our stuff.
we took some of our wedding
afterwards.
money and got our like dresser for our bedroom, and it's a really nice dresser
Yeah.
from Big Lots.
from Big Lots.
And that I
Oh
felt
my
like we were like, oh, like this
Wait,
is adult,
what?
like we are adulting.
Dresser, like a dresser,
like
clothes.
just for
no,
our clothes.
but big
Yeah, Big
Oh my
Lots.
gosh,
I was
it's
kind
so
of
they
confused by
have
that
so
too.
random. We went to
Such
Big
good
Lots. They got
furniture there.
great
We
furniture
should
there.
go. So that's part of our problem too. Is we have like this one 4-drawer standing dresser that John brought that is like half full of his stuff.
Yeah, no,
I just
ours
haven't
is-
found a place for my things.
Ours
so they're
is
just
Ours is like
1, 2, 3,
9
4, 5.
drawers, right?
Yeah, I think it's 9 drawers.
It's just this like beefy dresser, and when we
awesome.
bought that, I felt like, oh, like we're adults now.
Yeah.
We're adults. So
Yeah.
stupid, but
Oh, I
it's
want
just funny.
one.
Yeah,
I don't know, maybe we'll get
And
one from
literally, we
Big
put it in
Lots.
the room, and we were like,
like wow.
Hopefully it fits.
I was like, this dresser will stay here until I'm 90
Yes,
years old. Like
yes.
we're never
Yeah.
moving this
no,
freaking thing.
it's never moving.
Dang.
And it fits all of our clothes.
It's just funny, like, and we've talked about this on, some of our wedding episodes, but like just the things that you like when you're gonna move into like, I never thought I'd be like, oh yeah, like appliances and dressers, but like getting married and moving in together, I'm like, that's just like my jam,
Yeah.
For some reason.
I liked, I didn't do a lot of the picking out of like the living room stuff, but I have a lot of fond memories of like sitting in the living room by myself when we first moved in, like kind of gotten all the landmark items and just being like, this is like where I live now.
Yeah.
And like
Totally.
it was just cool because growing up I felt like my style, like my personal style, and this is so probably true for a lot of people, and my parents' style is just so polar opposite. It always felt that way.
Yeah.
So like this is my childhood home will always be my childhood home, and I loved it and it was great. But like being able to be in a space where you're like, oh, this is what I would choose.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm like living kind of what I would choose for my environment is really cool.
That rocked my world when the couch that I've like, in your living room, there's a couch, right?
Yeah.
And your whole life when you're a kid, there's just this couch. And then eventually my parents bought a new couch and I was like,
What is
you can do that? Like,
Yeah.
you can just get
bought
a new couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing, like
Yeah.
living in our place. I'm like, oh, like I want this, this thing in my, like, you can just get a new couch if you
Yeah.
want a new couch.
Yeah.
It's like a weird
Yeah.
thing.
It was the same thing, kind of same thing when my parents had this pool table in their center of their living room, like my entire life. I don't have a memory of it ever not being there. And we like for so long we're trying to convince my parents like, hey, just like get rid of it and like do something else. And I just never thought they would. And then one day like
It was
it was
gone.
It was
gone.
gone.
And we were like,
Whoa.
oh, they actually did it.
Did you miss it? Were you kind of like,
It was a staple here.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard because like the reason we wanted them to get rid of it is like it was just a giant table, so you can imagine
No one
things just
used
like
it.
draw like.
but you
things
never
just like
wanted
were
to,
magnets.
You never wanted to play pool more than the week after it was gone,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
my parents had this air hockey table and it was the same thing. Nobody ever played it and it just sat in the living room and then it was gone. And then I was like, that was pretty cool, that air hockey table. Why don't we get rid of that?
Yeah, it's interesting the environments like when you grow up in.
Yeah.
It's weird, very weird.
This is kind of related, but kind of not related. Like, I feel like it was the same thing when I was like a teenager and my parents were like getting rid of a bunch of like our old VHSs and like just old toys and like weird stuff. Same kind of thing. Like you've just seen it your whole life and you're like, yeah, I'm outgrown that. Like, get rid of that.
So sad.
And you look back and you're like, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
what's funny is I was gonna ask you,
Uh-huh.
just the group in general, if there was like
Sure.
a toy or like some sort of nostalgic childhood thing that like seemed so nonchalant, but like thinking back, like kind of affected you.
Have
as a
I talked
child?
about my Legos on this
No,
podcast?
I've never heard about
Ryan's
the Legos.
obsessed with Legos.
I still kind of am obsessed with Legos, but
Wait, I
we
love
had
that.
a full-blown Lego city set up. Like, we had this big kind of like, awesome. What do you call it? Like an
I just think of
armoire,
that scene
like-
from Jackass.
Oh my gosh, that.
The intro. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone seen the new Jackass movie? We had this full-blown city, and like we were really into Star Wars, obviously, and so we had all the Star Wars ships, and so there was like a ship parking lot outside of the city. Like it was
I
this
love
massive
that.
thing, and we had this like hutch, and my parents still have this hutch in their garage, but like you'd open the doors of this thing, and it was just like a big shelf full of Legos, and that was like every Christmas and every birthday was like getting Lego sets and putting. I just like the like the tactile, like following the
Yeah.
directions and putting little things together, and I liked all the little mini guys, the little action figures,
And I like. Did you ever just spend hours like just making stuff, creating storylines
all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
I
like
love
playing
that.
and like rearranging the little guys, and sometimes they'd fight and.
Oh my
my gosh,
That
I
made
love
me
it.
And
so
then one
funny.
day it was like not cool anymore. This is okay. Maybe this is my trauma right here. It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah, here
one
we go.
day it was like, yeah, I'm good. We don't need the Lego city anymore.
Well, that
we can
probably
box it
broke
up.
your mom's heart. Poor Tanya.
It was epic. Like this thing was massive, and then it was just like we just boxed it up one day.
Yeah.
And I don't even know. I like trying to get back into my psyche then,
Yeah.
and I still I don't know what the
I
hell
bet when
was
you have
thinking.
kids, it'll like re-spark that joy.
Yeah, we still
Oh,
have them.
for
A
sure.
lot of we have 2 like big bins still of Legos.
When you have kids, it's gonna and you're like they're old enough to start playing with Legos. It's all gonna unlock for you again.
I don't
It'll be so
know.
fun.
What the hell?
Kara doesn't want to step on one.
No, I mean I'm not saying
We
he'll
were
get back into it. But I'm saying
never a
like
Lego
the connection
family.
you'll have with your child over Legos will
Sure.
be like nothing that you've ever.
Well, we didn't
If
play.
that
We
connection
didn't play
happens.
sports. We were nerds, so we just sit around and play with Legos.
If
all
that
day.
connection happens, go ahead.
If that connection
Go
happens.
ahead, Kara.
Elaborate.
you don't want your kids to play with Legos.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand the hype about Legos. We never played them, and it doesn't feel like fun
What'd
to
you?
me.
So what'd you do? Like
Oh,
as
that's
a kid?
yeah. Let's take into Cara here. I want to hear what little
did you
Cara
do if
did.
you weren't-
Your toy.
I did have a Barbie dream house.
Okay, that's like the same kind of thing. It's like
Okay.
little
Oh my
tiny little
gosh.
stuff
No,
playing.
you
I
don't
never
build
understood
stuff.
Legos, but I understand Barbies.
Okay,
it's the
but
same
It's all
thing.
built already.
Okay, the build speaks to my ADHD, which is fine. Like put that over there. But then when you have it and it's built and you play with it and it's the same thing. Like, oh, like little Barbie's going up the little house. Oh, little Star Wars ship is
So
gonna
yeah,
blow up
that's the
other
question
ship.
I have
Yeah.
for
It's
you.
just the building part. It's
Okay.
like I just want the
Well,
build.
But Cara, was there
That's my-
storylines? Was there story arcs with your Barbies, or was it just like these are my Barbies and I just like take them everywhere I go?
I honestly don't remember.
Did they have like little? They didn't have little storylines or like little outfit changes.
Oh my gosh,
or-
Brian and I are
No,
so
they
the same.
definitely had outfit changes. My favorite one was the Barbie Rapunzel when you pull the cord and her hair goes up.
Oh yeah, that Barbie
Then
technology
you
got
press,
really
you press a
weird
button and
Yeah,
the hair
kinda
for a
comes out.
long
freaky.
time.
Oh my god,
I
John.
honestly don't remember a lot of my childhood, so
That's fair.
Really?
Like how you
Yeah.
felt, or like what do you mean?
Go ahead,
like-
let's unpack it.
like I know I had Barbies, I know I had Polly Pockets.
I also love that you said I don't remember a lot of my childhood and the awkward laugh. Ha ha! I don't remember much about it.
What's
but-
the furthest back you can remember? Like memories. of
When
your
Tina
childhood.
said that I was not her little princess anymore.
"Oh my god."
my-
I cut
okay.
my hair.
Trauma.
I
Trauma.
was 2.5.
Oh my
and
God.
I think this is my first memory. I really do.
There are resources out there.
I was 2, and we were coming back from somewhere, and I had a balloon, or like Connor had a balloon or something, and I was mad at him, and I ran to get scissors because I wanted to pop his balloon, but I instead gave myself a mullet.
Nice.
Wow.
And your
there
mom said,
pictures?
And your
"You're
mom
not
said,
my little
"You're not my little
anymore?"
princess."
And
anymore?
called my grandma, and my grandma came over and fixed it the best she could before we went to the hair salon. The next day.
Dang.
Holy shit.
That's intense.
That's rough. And how does it make you feel now?
Oh, I don't care. I thought it was cute. Looking back at the pictures, it's like cute.
Yeah,
little
wait.
short
Do you
hair.
remember that, or is that like a story? Because I've heard your mom tell that story before.
No, I specifically remember running with the scissors. I don't remember actually
just
cutting my
today.
hair, but I
John,
remember
that's a big no-no.
I remember like being with the scissors and wanting to pop that
I
balloon.
love your childhood reaction of,
Oh
That's
gosh.
supposed to do
No, I'm not
that.
supposed to roll the
Don't do
scissors.
that.
My core memories are like after Noah and Emma were born. And it was like
I mean, that's fine. Like, it
playing
doesn't
like,
matter how
playing
young you
the-
were.
The kicky game.
Okay.
Kicky?
So we have 5 stairs.
Oh my
in
gosh.
grand's house.
Okay. Love
It's called the
this.
Kiki game. And I had I think it was like,
5
for one of my
stairs.
birthdays, my mom was like, you get to pick one
Don't
thing
question
out when we were at Disneyland. I think it was my 12th
That's
birthday.
kind of like
Oh,
normal.
I'm so sorry.
and it was when they were selling those big, like, they were called moshies.
Stuff face.
They're
And
like,
they were like
the
the-
modern day Squishmallow, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
they had, like, the little beads in it.
That's
So
what
they
I'm
were, like,
imagining,
squishy.
yeah.
And it was the big Minnie Mouse one.
Okay.
They had those all
Nice.
over Disneyland. So I got that, and then I had a yellow moshi that I got in Boston.
Oh,
And
nice.
that was like my favorite pillow ever.
Moshi.
And we would someone would go to the top of the 5 stairs and they would like kickball it down the stairs. And me, Emma, and Connor, or like whoever 3 were down there, whoever would catch it first and like run it back.
Like
it
a
would
3
just
flags
win.
up kind of
Yeah, we would just
situation.
keep doing that in our little hallway.
And what was it called? Kiki?
That was the
Kiki
Kiki
game.
game.
the Kiki game.
So how are there 5 stairs?
So my parents,
It's an extension.
It's an extension.
Of the house.
It was
it's
Got
not.
built. It was built.
When they say
in-
upstairs, they mean up all 5 stairs.
Yeah, it's
Like,
still
This
upstairs.
is. I love
It's
giving
still
the Phillies crap for
It's
this.
upstairs.
Because they're like, oh, it's upstairs, and it's literally like, doot, doot, doot,
It's
like
still
now you're
upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah, across the room.
It was built in the 70s, and when my parents bought it in the 90s or in early 2000s, they built on their entire bedroom.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the master bedroom and
It's
the bathroom are
ginormous.
Yeah.
all add-on. Just random.
It's also called upstairs.
It's a 2-bedroom that they converted into a 4-bedroom.
Wow.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because weren't your guys's, you and Emma's rooms were like one room,
No.
right? Or
Emma's room was an office.
oh,
'Cause it's
so
so
it was a
small.
3-bedroom.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Oh, wow.
I'm
Yeah.
exaggerating then. My bad.
No, it's not.
So now
I
it's a
don't think.
4-bedroom,
I don't think an
3-bath.
office is considered a bedroom unless it has a closet. So it might have been
What?
a 2-bedroom.
So Emma's, it had a closet,
Oh, okay.
but that's where the
that the
phone
rule?
lines were.
Yeah,
And like the
California.
cable lines.
California, like home structure is you have to have a certain structure of a closet for it to be considered a room, technically. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive.
Interesting.
That's
so. What would that
rich.
other? If it didn't have a
Odd.
closet, it would just be
So
a
that's why a
saucy
lot of
little
people.
broom closet.
That's why a lot of people. It might have. It probably has changed. But I watched this on like the Home Network, like probably 5 years ago, and that's why like when they go to redo houses, they'll add a closet in there so that they can consider it to be
Oh.
a room.
Okay.
Because it
otherwise-
brings up the value of the house.
Yeah. Because
That's fair.
they can't now. They
Odd.
can't advertise it as like a 4-bedroom if it doesn't have a closet. But you could, when people came and saw the house, you could say like, okay,
it
it's
actually
actually
has
4
4.
bedrooms,
Yeah.
but we can't consider
That.
this in the
Because
classified thing.
John wouldn't get a closet.
Yeah.
Like, right.
Yeah.
If your family was moving in there, you'd be the one to
Yeah.
not get the closet.
Yeah, I shared a room for my whole life with David.
Same.
Jeez.
Same.
What
That
do you
sucks.
think
What's
that
up?
did to you guys?
Sharing a room.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. Did it mess you up or did it help you readjust to life?
I think what it did for me sharing a room was made me really yearn for like privacy. And I know that doesn't like make any sense with my personality type because I'm not the kind of person that like needs to be alone a lot. But like growing up, I kept everything else in my life super private for my family because I was like, I don't even have like the space to like be alone. Like David could have, David was a great like roommate. You know what I'm saying? Like
Shout out to
Okay.
you, David.
he wasn't like harsh or weird or mean. It just like at any moment he could come in because it was his room too. So I
Yeah.
never got like the ability
Yeah,
to be
I
like,
hate
I
that.
could be alone. I could shut this door and I don't have to worry.
Yeah,
so all
same.
the other pieces of my life, like who I was, like girls I liked and things, I
Yeah.
just never told my family because I was like, that's the one thing that I can like keep to myself.
Well,
which
back
sounds
to like
weird.
the barbaric nature here, like
Go ahead.
animal kingdom, like
Yes.
just like craving territory.
Yes.
You know, like
Yeah.
just like that desire for.
Yeah, and I think when my brother moved out, like when I graduated high school and never came back, and that's when like our shared room became my room, and that's when I felt like my personality was starting to like becoming the person that I wanted to be. I never correlated it to like having my own room, but I think it was a lot of having my own room because I could kind of like, oh, this is my space now, and I
Yeah.
can design it how I want. Like growing up, I didn't even think about what to put on the walls because it was like David and ours room. So it was like, it wasn't like I could just put something. I mean, I could,
You
but
didn't have
it
a,
felt
like,
like you
our
had to
side,
consult
my
with
side, your side?
another person.
I'm kind of with you on that. I
Weird, I know, right?
I think I felt the same thing.
And so like when I got my own room, I felt like, okay, I can kind of be like, I started doing things that I like towards the person that I wanted to become because I felt like, oh, I could actually be myself now. And at the time I wasn't correlating it to being within my own room, but I just look at like the course of my last 10 years and I go like, oh, this is right about when
You found agency.
I'm like, oh, I feel
Yeah.
like I'm becoming the person I want to become. And it
Sure.
also happened to be like the time where I got my own room and I started to,
Yeah.
create my space into like just being mine. And it was kind of interesting. I don't know. I never made the correlation.
I think
but-
our family was so tightly knit at all times that I didn't really think like, oh, this was like, it was weird that I was sharing a space. Like the way our house is structured, it was like my parents' bedroom and my sister's bedroom and my bedroom were like all in like this one little area. And everybody like, nobody shut their doors. Like nobody shut their bedroom doors. It was
Yeah.
just like, here we are. And like,
Did Tanya also not let you brush out your doors though?
totally. It was like, yeah, what are you doing? Don't shut the door.
Yeah.
Like what if you die in there?
Oh,
like
okay.
really, we got to come and break down
Makes
the door
sense.
to save you.
Well, they have the big thing about locking doors. You haven't heard this.
What's
No.
that?
Your family doesn't lock doors or something. Remember that one time you passed out in the bathroom and
What? Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I mean, that was a rule. Yes, you've heard this story.
No,
I
I
passed
have
out in the bath.
not.
I cut my finger with a pocket knife. I ran into the bathroom to wash it off. I grew faint.
I grew faint from the blood.
No, I think a
thought of
combination
blood or losing blood?
No, it wasn't about the blood. It was more about like I got up really
The
fast
stress.
to wash it off, and then I was like, whoa, like I gotta.
Okay, did you lock the bathroom door?
Didn't lock the bathroom
made
door.
a hole in the
no,
wall.
but
Because-
my whole life the rule was like don't lock the bathroom door because like if you faint or if you like something goes down and you're like dead in there, somebody's got to come
Okay.
save you. And like if the door's locked, that'll. Now thinking about it, it'll only put like a little bit more time into my
Yeah.
rescue.
But
So
that's
do
the
you
thought
guys
process.
do a lot of knocking?
yeah, there's knocking that goes on. It's not like
Okay.
just bust open the door and hey, what's going on
I'm
in
learning
here?
a lot about what attributes your personality.
Okay,
really.
go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
No, that you when you told me that, like the whole thing about not
This
locking the
makes
doors,
sense.
I told it's not that it's not normal. It's just like not like it's definitely your family has decided like,
Yep.
hey, you don't lock the doors because something could happen. And like my family, we just never even had that conversation.
I know,
like,
my family
you
is
just locked
like,
the
you
door,
just
you
lock the
didn't, but it's
door.
up to you. You know,
Yeah.
I have like
it's
a
funny because
Or why didn't
I'd
you?
go over to people's houses and they'd be like, shut their bedroom door, and I'd be like, why'd you do that? Like,
what's going on here.
well, what if something happens in here?
Oh, that was literally the first time that I ever spent the night at your house.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I spend the night, I always spent it with Olivia. And
I love it.
As
Thanks
you
for
do.
clarifying.
the first
I did
time
that for a couple of years.
she didn't she like
Yeah,
I
it's
was
out.
so surprised because I always shut the door at night
Yeah.
in my room because
Uh-huh.
it's like my room
for sure.
quiet. And
Well,
when
and
she
what's more,
didn't
too-
and then your parents' bedroom and your bedroom, everything being open too, I was like,
That's so freaky.
And everyone just like blare their TVs and we'd all just
I
like
think
fall
it's
asleep
'cause
and
I also don't really like the dark.
uh-huh.
So I don't
Oh.
like having the
Neither
door
does
open.
Don't talk about dark drama.
Dark
I-
trauma.
Oh.
I don't like seeing the door open and being like, there could be stuff in the living room right now.
Yeah.
There could be this there.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like it being
sure.
but like
shut
a
off,
shut door would
being like
save
no
you.
one can come in.
Yeah.
If the
Yeah,
door is
no,
shut.
no, I'm
As long
with
as the
you
door's
on
shut.
that.
Brent's like, I want to see who's
I
gonna
think
kill
honestly
me.
the real danger is in the room if the door's shut.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's true.
No, no.
My,
I'm more of a danger to myself than something coming to get me.
my bedroom is like at the end of the hall, well, at my parents' house, and when the door was open, where my bed was, you could see like to the staircase,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that
and
freaks me out.
it was freaking me out because I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
Something can come up.
if
the
something
stairs.
came up the stairs, I'd be the first to see it, and then it's my responsibility to like
Yeah.
notify the others,
Uh-huh.
and I just like I don't want nothing to do with it.
I think that's my childhood room too. The way that it is there's the hallway.
you can
the
see
kitchen.
down into the hallway.
Now
oh, yeah.
you said you're
Well, my door
Into the
it
kitchen, you're
actually,
right.
My door actually used to be like lined up with the hallway, but then when my parents
rough.
did the kitchen remodel,
They
they
moved the
moved
door.
my door over just a little bit, but I could still see.
now in
down
your
the
house
hallway.
was your bedroom upstairs or downstairs?
Downstairs.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Because
Across the
you're,
room.
No,
you're,
the
you're not
upstairs-
understanding. Everything is downstairs.
Except for the master
only thing
bedroom.
that's upstairs is Robert and Tina's bedroom
So was it
and their
up
bathroom.
the
Yeah.
5 stairs or down the
It
5
was
stairs?
down the 5 stairs.
Okay,
Down.
that's what I need to know.
First floor.
First floor.
First floor being everything. Second floor being a
Parents'
single bedroom.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
You said you were afraid of the dark. Are you? Do you know if that's targeted to a specific like memory or movie or like or
I
no?
had night terrors as a kid. As a kid.
Really?
I think we've talked about this on the show, haven't we?
I don't know.
Are
Did I
night
talk
terrors the
about my
same
night
as
terror?
nightmares?
Yeah. No. Yes. A night terror is like
Oh,
real,
a night terror
basically.
is
like it
you-
actually happens to you.
Like you're sleepwalking.
I'm sorry,
but
what?
you're completely awake and you think it's real.
yeah.
Like you're
You
seeing
were actually
things.
sleepwalking. So I thought that was like lucid dreaming.
Go ahead and talk.
It
on the mic.
is.
No, lucid dreaming is when you can
What?
control your dream and
microphone.
what's happening.
It's a it's like sleep paralysis. You know, like
Yes,
sleep paralysis.
so
like
yes.
you're fully conscious in your dream, but you can't do anything,
Okay,
and you like
I've
see
had
demons
that.
and stuff.
But like for me, it was actually getting up. So my main night terror that I specifically remember is in the dream, literally everyone I loved was there and we were all being chased by
Whoa.
by porcupines.
Oh,
Like everyone was being
terrifying.
chased by porcupines and I was watching every single person die of these
Oh.
porcupines except for me.
My
Oh
God.
my god.
So then I remember waking up in my bedroom and I had the closet that was mirror doors, like the big mirrors. RIP that closet. And I remember getting up and being like, oh my gosh, that dream was like awful and scary. Go to the mirror and see like
You had a sleep paralysis
Like-
demon, right? Like
demon staring at me.
Yeah.
Like black creepy like
Oh.
think of like a Dementor. Now that I think about it, it was
Dementors.
like
Dementors.
Dementor-y,
Worst part of
scariest thing about
jail.
prison.
but like even more scary.
Did it have
Like,
eyes?
I didn't watch scary movies. I didn't watch anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
because you're like
So- and
the most
I-
sheltered child I think I've ever met.
I
Okay.
Well,
remember screaming my head off.
Yep.
And it must not have been like, it must have only been like 10 o'clock because my mom was in the living room on the phone with somebody. And I go running into the living room screaming all this stuff. And my mom's just like, what the heck is going on?
For how
Awful,
long?
awful.
Like how long in your childhood did you have those?
Oh, that's like the main one that's like the only one I remember. But my parents
Oh.
said that when I was little, they
Wake
would
up screaming
fight-
all the time, right?
screaming, and then
oh my god.
there's
mean,
only one other one I remember that they said I
terrifying.
did this all the time.
As a parent, I'd be like, oh
Yeah.
my
If
god.
My
I know,
child
I
starts
know.
screaming like
Send it
that,
back.
I'd be
I thought
like,
something was wrong with me. And then
I'm not going in there.
And then the other
Call
ones
your
that they
father.
tell me about that I remember one of is I would just get up in the middle of the night and like go to their room and just stand there and stare at them.
Okay.
I only remember
Pass,
it. I
pass.
remember it one time.
Throw the whole child away.
Pass.
I remember one
Send
time,
it back.
not the walking up, but I remember waking up in front of their bed and my mom being like, what do you want? And me being like,
I don't know.
and just going back to bed.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
And your
maybe
parents were just like, yeah, no, like that's just how raising kids is.
I
I
don't
would
know.
be
Freaking-
terrified.
I got dropped on my head at JCPenney photo booth when I was little. So who knows if that could have had.
maybe it's all connected.
They did brain
night
studies on me,
terrors.
so
They did?
I don't know. After
did
that
brain
fall,
studies on you?
yeah.
Yeah, Cara
it
was
was
at
like a
the-
family portrait, and they set me
I'll
up
let
as
her
a
tell
baby,
it.
and someone's supposed to keep their hand there the
Yeah.
whole time, no matter what, and just edit that out later or whatever. The person left and went to take the picture, and I fell backwards off the table onto my head and cracked my skull.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they fully did like a year of like brain tests on me to make sure that
Were your
everything
parents
was
like
okay.
freaked out?
They tried to sue him, but
That's horrible.
you know,
I would've
JCPenney
seen
was a big company
Got
back
caught
then.
up in
Yeah.
the hullabaloo.
Yeah.
So mine was the Grinch.
Oh,
My
that's
Grinch
right.
dreams.
Oh,
I-
what?
Uh-huh. So I went to
Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
yes, but I went to
But she loves the movie now.
You made peace
Yeah,
with
we
it.
know that we love. She
like
loves
a
the movie.
musical.
Oh, yeah, she's
my
looked all the
my
time.
grandma took me to like Grinch the musical.
Oh,
It was
And-
probably the
Like
one
the
at
Old Globe?
Old Globe,
It was
yeah.
Old Globe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to say that, but I want to be wrong. It was Old Globe.
It's the only
And
Grinch
he was
musical
like
I'm familiar with.
going through the crowd, and I was young. I was probably like 4, and he popped out and scared me, and it
Made a lasting
traumatized me
impression.
so much.
Did they have to like evacuate you from
I
the
still
theater?
to this day have bad Grinch dreams, and it's always at my childhood home, and it's always like I'm going downstairs and I see
And
the
the
back
Grinch is
of
there.
him, and he turns around and
Oh,
does that
how
smile
odd.
like that he does in the movie,
Yeah.
and he just like goes towards me, and I wake up. It's
How
horrible.
crazy. We always talk about like how powerful the brain is, but like you always wonder like what the hell brain? Like
What the hell,
why when I
remember that?
I let myself, my subconscious
Yeah.
run amok, it's just like, "Oh, let me think of the scariest thing I've ever thought of."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I
It's
slept
bizarre.
with well I don't really anymore, which is kind of weird.
A nightlight?
But I used to sleep with Netflix or something in the background.
Sure.
Because as soon as it gets quiet, my brain
No, I
like
hate it. I
You
hate
go there.
it starts to get
super still.
hypersensitive of any little noise that happens, and I'm like,
Yep.
oh. But my thing about the dark is, I figured it out a couple of years ago. I remember like having these weird memories of being in like a completely dark like space, and there just being like a line of light, and I was like, I never could put it together, and then I
Your
realized
an
that
old
my
TV turning on.
I realized that my
No.
grandma used to, when we got in trouble, she used to put us in her like pitch black room,
Talk
and
about
the
trauma.
line was the crack of the
The
door.
Right. I remember this.
And then both him and Beth are like, "Oh yeah, I think I dreamt that," and they're like, "Oh
And then
no,
we
it
made
was
the connection
real."
because I didn't know it wasn't for sure, and then I said it in front of Beth, and Beth's like, "Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I remember that too," and we were like, "Oh, it did actually happen." Yeah,
Oh,
and
my
it messed
gosh.
me up for sure. Like,
Yeah.
The
Weird.
figuring out that it was real or the actual
Oh.
dream.
no,
Because
just like
that would have shook me to my core.
well,
if I was
it
like,
wasn't. Honestly, it kind of made it made it a little better because I kind of understood like, oh, that's why I don't like the dark is because like
Uh-huh.
I go back to that place,
Yeah.
Yes.
and like, and then also as a kid, I grew up watching scary movies, so like that just adds to it.
Uh-huh.
But I have a specific scenes of scary movies that like my
Stick
brain.
in your brain.
Oh, I could like I can almost see it in my brain.
Did you
sometimes.
watch scary movies as a kid?
"Yes, have you ever seen Signs?" The
Yes.
alien
No.
movie.
Uh-huh.
That one got me. Killer Clowns
Whoa.
from Outer Space.
Oh my
like
gosh.
the ones where like as a kid it's terrifying, but looking
heard
back
of
as an
any of
adult,
these.
you're like, this is a joke.
Totally. Cara, did you watch scary movies as a kid?
No.
Not really. I think the scariest things that we watched was Goosebumps. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't watch scary movies as a kid, and then when the internet arrived and I was exposed to like
You ran
creepy
amok.
internet videos, those
Slender
like
Man?
I remember Slender Man. I still remember like what do you call it? Like Happy Tree Friends. You ever watch those fucked up cartoons?
No.
They
Yeah,
were like
you showed me that, and that it's
they're like little
Insane.
bunnies and cartoons, and it's like all cute. And then like one of them will pull out a chainsaw and chomp all the other ones' heads off. It's like
my gosh.
yeah. If you
well,
were there,
Charlie the Unicorn.
Charlie the
is in
Unicorn
the
messed
same
me
vein.
up. Like all these weird little videos that were like just. I was suddenly like watching this media that I've never been exposed to
Yeah.
when I'm 11 and 12. I'm like, oh, cool. What's this? And it's like, just weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
We used to watch The Twilight Zone. And the freaking we would go over to our friend's house, and I mean Connor's only a year older than me.
Yeah.
But
okay.
him and his friend would watch The Twilight Zone, and I remember
Like the old school, like
yes, the old
Rod
ones.
Serling.
And the freaking one with like the monkey man on the plane on the wing of the plane. That scene messed me up.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that was also
gosh.
the day that my mother picked me up and said, "Your fish has died."
Oh wow, we're unlocking a lot for
mom.
Cara
Yeah,
I'm
today.
writing this down.
Yeah, you should
Mama.
know.
You're not my little princess.
Because I was
anymore.
sleeping over.
I'm going to
yeah.
change the subject kind of a little bit.
Go ahead.
Have you ever had a vision, a dream when you're awake, or have like,
Oh,
yeah?
Just deja
That
vu.
came true.
no, not necessarily.
I'll start by saying on the way over here, I was fully spacing
Oh,
out.
that's right.
And
I haven't heard the
I
vision,
had a
but-
vision, and Kara and I have mused about like opening a coffee shop before.
Okay.
And
Love.
we were driving, and I saw the coffee shop, and it was called Tafolla's, and it was like really a sweet little
I
thing.
kind of love that.
It was like, and not like, oh, like someday I'll have my own coffee shop. I was like,
That's
oh,
it.
I see it. Like there it
Yeah.
is. Like, and not even like I was trying to manifest it or anything. I just like had this vision, and I even said to Kara in the car, I was like, I think I just had a vision. Like it was so bizarre, like so
Real.
in my like mind. Yeah.
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 It was crazy. You ever had anything like that?
I had the only time I ever had it was with you. We
Oh my gosh.
it was so awful. It's one of the probably the most like emotional wreck I've ever been in front of Jordan. She wanted to get graduation photos when she graduated from SDSU, which was 2 years ago now.
Like a lifetime ago.
And
Yeah.
so she's a photographer. So she didn't want to hire
whole
somebody
state ago.
else. She wanted to like kind of do it herself. And she thought like if she can set the settings and I can take the pictures, she can edit them. We went to Laguna Hills,
Mount Laguna.
look at Mount Laguna, and took a bunch of photos, and it just wasn't working out. Like
No.
she wasn't.
He was doing great. I was just so frustrated because when you're like trying to take pictures of yourself and you're
Yes.
like, why am I doing that? Why do I look like that? Why can't
And
I pose?
Hate
We
that.
were both, and it just kind of manifested into both being like bitter at each other, like because
You guys
I felt
fought?
like I wasn't doing it right, but she wasn't communicating that it wasn't me. So then I thought like I was the problem. So we're driving home like really upset with each other, like
Got
not
it.
talking, like dead silent in the car. And she's driving, and I'm sitting in the front
That's the
seat,
worst.
and I'm like looking out the window, and all of a sudden I'm like. And I've talked
He
about this on the
starts
show.
bawling.
My brain does this when I'm mad at somebody. My brain will start to make me imagine what it would be like for me to be at this person's funeral, because it's almost like my brain's trying to like
like a
trying to-
guilt thing, or like you're trying to make her not be alive.
Well, it's like no,
little
it's
bit,
like a
though.
guilt thing. It's like my brain
Got
goes
it.
like, this is so stupid.
Shame on you for
Like
being
think
angry.
about if you were at their funeral right now, like you wouldn't even care about the bullshit that's happening right now. You
Yeah.
know,
Interesting.
So that happened. I was at Jordan's funeral, and I was like having to speak, and I was like, it still like gets me
Wow.
a little bit because I'm like, it
Because you
was
could see it in that moment.
it was the most awful thing.
Were you
Like,
driving?
no, she was driving. I
So
wasn't.
think I'm driving. This
Maybe
is
it's a
all
car
in his
thing.
mind right now.
And so the whole ride home, I'm having this like vivid experience, and then we pull up, and I can't hold back the tears. I'm literally starting to like
He's
cry.
hyperventilating, like can't breathe,
And
like
she's
it's
like,
happening right now.
And then she's like, "What's going on?" And I was like, I couldn't speak. I was literally just like crying, and then she's like freaking out, and I was like, and then we come back here, and we get into the studio, and I'm like taking a deep breath, like it took me minutes to like
Yeah.
compose myself,
You were
and I
not
was like,
okay.
and then I told her, I was like, I had the most vivid like day nightmare of like having to speak at your funeral, and I was like, it was the worst thing that like I could ever like. It was the worst thing I could have ever seen or imagined. And it was like the
Holy
worst
cow.
thing
Let
I've
me
ever
ask you
had.
this. Did that immediately make you go like, this guy's crazy, I need to break this off? Or
No, I was just.
because you've known John a long time
Yes.
too. So you were like, oh, this is just like
Well,
typical
my thought,
bullshit.
I was like, oh, this guy wants to break up with me. It was before we got engaged, and he just
Right.
like can't say it. Like, what a little
he
bitch.
just burst into
tell me.
tears, like just make it easy, like on all of us.
Oh no, yeah,
Dang.
it was like the worst. So like I said, I know that my brain does this to me. It's never, ever, ever been as vivid as it
Yeah.
was
It's
in that
kind
moment.
of an interesting thing, like almost you won't let yourself just be angry at somebody
Yeah.
because it's like your brain going, shame on you, like what if they were dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's
and
kind of-
sometimes I also, it's not even when I'm mad at somebody. Sometimes I'll literally be thinking about, somebody like that I've just been working a lot with. Like it happens with you and Annie and Cara all the time. Like I'll just be working at work and I'll be thinking about, we'll be working on projects or something together a lot. And I'll go like, oh my gosh, like, I just like my brain takes me to like if I had to speak at your funeral and I was like that would be the worst effing thing ever, like the worst. And so it happens in good times and in bad times. But
Sure.
I think it's funny how it goes straight to if I had to talk to the funeral and not just if they were dead.
Yeah. It's like, if I
That's how
had to
you
make
know a
public
narcissist
appearance-
because it's like,
had
oh
to
my god,
talk.
like if Cara dies, like what
had
am I
to
gonna say? What am I
talk.
gonna wear at the funeral?
it's okay.
No,
it's-
I'm right there with you.
You know what I'm saying,
But
though?
it's so true.
like
As a fellow narcissist.
I'm like, if this person like dies, shoot, like, am I gonna ugly cry? Like, will I look okay when
But
I
what do
cry?
I wear?
What do I wear?
no, it
Oh.
was it
God, I
it's,
hate
it
funerals.
genuinely is like it's more about the feelings of like you actually dying, but like
course.
it's in the context of like having to put together words what the person means about you, and like
yeah.
at one of the worst events you could ever be at, which is a funeral. It's just like all that compounds into like I don't know like how to communicate how much I love this person, but like I'm here and I have to, and they're not here and it sucks. Like it's like the worst feeling.
Now that is trauma.
Yeah,
And that's on trauma.
that's true.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only vision I had.
Visions? Any visions over there?
I've had prophetic dreams
Oh,
where like I'll dream about something and then it happens.
Yeah,
It happens frequently, I feel like.
yeah.
interesting. Any
don't know.
standing out?
Yes.
How much time do you have?
Our lovely photographer for our wedding, love her, originally hired, it was her and her husband, and they've had this business forever.
Yeah.
I had a dream that, so she does photo and he does video, right? And I had this dream that he wasn't there. He didn't show up. And
Okay.
at our wedding, and she's like, yeah, Chris just... Okay.
I mean,
I mean,
fine.
Bert.
I mean, you already said it's the photographer for your
right.
wedding, so
For
doesn't
my
matter.
wedding. So I had a dream that she said, yeah, like he's just not going to make it. There's no video happening. And I was
And you're like,
we're just like, we're
that's
not
not-
together. He's not coming. And I was like, okay. And this is on our wedding day. I was like, okay. In a dream.
In the dream.
In the dream. Right.
Got it.
The next day, she calls me, and I'm thinking that she's going to talk to me about like the timeline, some of the details. And she shares the news that they are no longer together. And I told her, I'm like, that is the craziest thing. And she was like, shout out to Corinne for handling this situation. Like, Ryan's smiling. But seriously, like, I can't even imagine. And my heart hurt for her. But it was just weird because I was just telling her, like,
I knew this was
So
going to
they were
happen.
this,
had this
they were this
craziest
married
dream that-
couple, like
That
duo,
did, yeah.
that did film and
and photo.
yeah, we're fully exposing
And-
them now. So
Yeah.
whatever, it is what it is.
There's a lot of
She'd
those out
listen.
there.
And you had the dream, and then the next day you had that
Yes,
conversation.
and yeah.
And that happens all the time with
Wow.
her. This is also
How
Jordan with like when we got engaged, I had been planning for like weeks and like I'd picked this day and it was great, and then like everyone was doing a great job. I didn't even tell people until the week of, like started telling people because I wanted it to be like super top secret. I wanted to be a surprise. Literally, she wakes up on the day of our engagement. She didn't know. Wakes up, her mom happens to like be in the room, like coming to talk to her. And she looks at her mom. She goes, "I think John's going to propose today."
I
What
just-
the heck?
And her mom's like, "What? Like, what? That's so crazy. Like, what? Like, what do you mean?" And she's like, "I don't know
Did you know
why,
that you were going on a picnic?
but I can feel it."
Oh.
You didn't even know
like
there
a
was a
picnic
plan?
wasn't even
Nothing was
In
planned
place?
that day.
Wow.
No, so that day.
And then there was like clues where I was like, oh, like
this
my
the-
mom cleaned the house because my sister's coming to town, and then Kat had me do those flowers. I'm like, okay, it's happening.
This is the problem
Oh
that with
my
this
God.
initial like gut reaction is everything after that
Affirmed.
seems like something's happening. Because then I'd planned to call in sick, but I took the day off. So I like texted her and I was like, "Oh, I called in sick. Like I want to just like hang out and do nothing today." And she's like, So like that initial
Yeah.
feeling is what set off the
Yeah.
clues to just
Of
seem
course.
like so ridiculous, you know?
Which you could have woken up and it could have meant nothing. You're like, well,
Yeah.
it was just another day.
Yeah.
But
It was
course
everything
not.
that was lined up.
Not possibly.
And the one thing that threw her off is I took a nap. She's like, "There's no way he took a nap on the day that we're getting
Oh,
engaged."
he
I was
did.
like,
Better believe.
That's pretty
was
funny.
like,
Yeah.
That's fine. We
Oh,
all
you
got
know he
COVID
did.
tests that day.
The day that we got engaged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We had a COVID scare.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
plenty of
Kara,
those nowadays.
I mean, you didn't see it coming for years. I could
No.
have proposed
Sure
to you and you would have
didn't.
been like, so when
you
is it
didn't see it
happening?
coming
Oh
at
my
all.
gosh.
No. I literally,
Which is crazy
like,
to me.
what
Best
did I
day
do?
I
ever.
thought I
What
was
did
being
do?
so obvious.
I had work.
So did he fully pick out your ring, or did you pick out a ring?
She did pick it out.
Oh, yeah, I had Pinterest board.
Kara had a Pinterest board, which made it easy.
Okay, but
So
you
I-
guys
Yeah.
didn't go into a ring shop, and she's like, "I want this."
Oh, we did. We went
we
to
went
Tiffany's
into
for
a
fun.
Tiffany and she tried, and that's how I
it.
knew what her
My
size was.
Because I didn't
And
even know
then
my size.
I just
Okay.
picked one from her Pinterest board.
Nice.
And he picked the right one.
Perfect.
Very lucky.
What
But
did I
I
do the day
literally-
of?
we literally
I
just-
like came home from work.
I didn't even know why.
No, you guys were having a dinner.
I was at Starbucks.
It wasn't like an anniversary or anything. It was just like, let's just go out to a nice dinner.
No, it's because you were like, this is your early Christmas present. We're going to Duke's.
Oh, nice.
You said
in
it was
November. It was like it was not
So
airtight
random.
at all. It was so
And
like
I was like, it's kind of early, but I was like, Duke's needs reservations like in advance all the time. So
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it.
So
I
bizarro.
was working at Starbucks in El Cajon, and he texts me and says,
oh, I guess it was in December. I
emergency,
guess it does. I'm thinking of our wedding
Jonathan
day.
has COVID, and we were all with our whole family. He has COVID. We need to go get tested right now. So I literally went to my manager and I was like, I need to leave.
yeah.
And my hair was like 4-day-old hair. Gotta go.
Mm.
We go get COVID tests. And like now thinking about it, my mom, when I was leaving,
Oh my
to
god!
go
I
get the
thought
COVID
she was
test,
gonna fully blow the
my
whole thing
mom
open
was
because you're like, "Are you dressed cute?" Okay, like,
No,
did you do your
no, 'cause
nails?
she,
You're
no,
not my
no.
little princess anymore.
By the way, you have a
By the
chance. You have a chance to be my little princess
No,
again.
the only thing that she said was I was leaving with all of my stuff to go to your house to go get COVID tests, and she was like, "Wait, you're not going to take a shower? Aren't you going to dinner tonight?" And I was like, "I'll take a shower at
Like-
Ryan's,"
Kara, I
God bless
wish.
you, Kara.
Wow.
and I did. I brought all my clothes.
Why would your mom have known we were going to dinner?
You probably told
because it
her.
was Duke's.
I mean, I will say there was a lot going on. We got COVID tested.
Maybe
Also,
I should have thrown in a COVID
I
test on our
changed
day, huh?
a tire on Emma's car like the same day.
Oh yeah, Emma's tire was flat.
Just like typical
shoot,
guy
yeah.
stuff, you know.
It was just like a normal day, and then it was like, okay, take a shower, like get ready for dinner. COVID
That's
test
funny.
came back negative. All right, Duke's it is, and it was
Bada
the
boom.
week. It was the 1 week where all the restaurants reopened, and then literally the week ended,
Oh,
and they closed
shoot.
again.
Yeah.
It was that
Yeah.
1 week.
2020?
22. You were there.
Yeah,
No, I was there. I know.
2020.
I'm just
You
trying to
both were.
remember
What
the
day
year.
was it?
December?
November?
it was
No.
December
It was-
17th because we got our cats the 18th.
Yep. No, it was actually the 18th because we got him on the 19th.
Oh,
There you go.
What'd
There
you
you go.
get? Oh, the cats.
the cats the next day.
Dang. I remember, I remember that all that happened, and then you sent us a picture, like, of your cats, and I was like, you guys just got engaged and you got 2 cats
Yeah.
already? What
They
the
were just waiting
heck?
for that.
That
Crazy.
was the most spur of the moment thing
It really was.
ever. We were driving, and Ryan literally was like, "The cats are ready. You know, go get cats." We were like, "Let's go see
Cats
them."
are
I guess.
ready. Where were you?
Well,
Where
we
was
were
the
trying to adopt
website?
them from a
He
yeah.
had a prophetic
Catsaready.com.
dream.
Cooking them up.
He had a dream about getting
I was
cats,
like,
and he said,
I think
the
our cats are ready.
I see it.
No, because it's like you get the call from the adoption people at Petco or
Yeah.
PetSmart, and they're like, "Hey, we have these cats. They're ready to go if you want them."
So you just
'Cause you had to apply,
were you
'cause-
getting texts
Oh.
about cats?
At the same time that we were
Well,
engaged.
did you get
yeah.
multiple texts about cats, or just
like
the one?
like the month before, because we
No,
had
I
requested.
had been like
Eyeing these
scouting
guys.
out these cats. Yeah.
These
two specific
out.
jokers.
No,
yeah.
no.
Yes.
No, We had put requests. They like put out like 25 kittens. That they're like, these are kittens are all available.
25. You didn't get all 25?
I really thought about it.
And then you have to go onto the adoption thing. You have to get like your background checked, whatever. And then they tell you which ones are available. And we were like, oh, there's this orange one we want to look at. There's this one we want to look at. And then that day they were like, oh, they sent us pictures of them.
Yeah.
And
These
you're
are the
like,
two
"Aw."
cats
They're like,
that we
these
have
are siblings. Because I
available.
knew I
You're
wanted
like,
two of them.
okay,
I was like,
well.
And we were like, okay, let's go. And we went and got them.
The best is that you signed a contract saying you would
contract.
never let them
never
outside.
declaw
No.
them, never take them outside, which
No.
we've
Oh,
broken
wow.
that rule already. We've taken them outside.
No, we haven't. They've snuck outside. Like
What's
little
the-
doubles?
It's like just a good conscience thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't let your
Well,
cat run
no,
around
no,
and
no.
like
It's-
bang other cats or like
No.
get diseases or whatever.
No, the outside thing is that
Cats.
they don't want to capture your cat again.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
They
yeah.
don't want more cats on the street.
Yeah.
These
That
are
they've already
kittens,
gone
though.
I think
through
it's
this adoption
so
stuff.
they can not have it on their conscience. Like if a cat gets got,
Yes.
they're like, well, we told him to keep it
Well,
inside. Yeah. One of the most special days of our life, and the two of you were there to
I
celebrate.
remember
it
like
with
you
us.
just said, and I also remember you being like thinking that I looked so obvious when we were because we were trying to hide, obviously.
Yeah.
And Ryan was like, John
I
had
was
this
like-
hat on, it was so obvious, and I'm like, did I really look that obvious?
No,
And
just because I
Kara's
was
like,
looking out for
no.
you, and it was like you looked like Captain America when he's like trying to be low key.
No,
you know,
what
he's
it
like,
was the freaking like zoom in safari lens
That's what it
that you
was.
would take to
That's what
freaking
it was.
Wait,
Africa.
first of all, it's a great lens, and I'd use it
was-
again.
Some say the best.
Some say
I
the
think
best.
One of the greatest lenses.
afterwards, you in the car, you were like, you really didn't notice that I was tracking like their location.
I was like fully.
and I was like,
tracking
no, because
John.
we were just going to watch the sunset, and you were on your phone. I don't care.
Yeah.
What I'll
Texting and
remember
driving, apparently.
from that is that we had just started the podcast. Like we were like 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
And when we started this podcast, like we knew it. Well, obviously we've known each other for a long time,
Yeah.
but like we're not like we were now. And so I remember like still like having like the preliminary conversations when we got in here and just being like, oh, so how was your week? You know, now we don't have that
Yeah.
crap at all. We go right to the deep
Hey,
stuff.
so how you doing?
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Where do you work?
And you came in early one time. There's one time you guys drove separate, and you came in early, and you're like, I think I'm gonna propose to Cara. And I was like, I was sitting there, and you were standing here, and I was like, what? I was like, because I
And I
had
was
just
like-
proposed
I was
to
like, I think I'm
Jordan
gonna
like
ask
months
Jordan.
prior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. It was so beautiful. And then like I also remember the day when we shot it and we were kind of done and you guys were gonna go to dinner, whole thing. And you guys like we hugged you guys and
Yeah.
Cara said, "I'm so glad you guys were here for it." And I was like, "Whoa, we're gonna be friends for a long
Yeah.
time." That's
It's so funny
weird.
because like
Did you really
I
think that?
can't
Yeah, I know. I knew
imagine
that's never gonna happen. But
like anyone else doing it.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Well, that was
Yeah.
like the second time I had met you, I feel like.
It was. It was
that
literally the
your
second time.
proposal? Can we plug
plug what?
a little
Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead.
this doesn't
ahead.
do anything.
a little video
Oh, you want us to link the
of
video?
me like going like this, and then once it was happening, like sprinting towards them.
Oh.
And then I jump up
Pretty
and down.
funny.
No, the best part is your mask.
Yes.
The flying away mask.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Was it yours?
Yeah, you lost your mask.
Yeah, it was
For
yours.
Yeah. Pretty hilarious.
The best was,
funny.
yeah, you were trying to be nonchalant, so you were turned around, and then it was happening, and you turned around, and you were like, oh no, like shot your camera up, and you started fast walking towards them.
Nailed it.
So
good.
good.
So
And that's the
Right.
kind of professionalism you get with Jordan Rose
Jordan
photography.
Rose photo. Jordan Rose photo.
It was really great. I think
I thought it was short for photography.
what one thing that I will say is like it's weird how like perfect timing we all started to become close friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Like professionally, you mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Professionally,
it really worked
personally, I'll never
Yeah.
talk
out.
to you
Like
again.
for the
but-
podcast, it
Ryan and
worked
I
out.
just recently became friends, but we've known.
Yeah,
We've been
it-
hanging out a long time.
kind of a will they won't they of friendship.
Yeah.
And when you dressed up as Ryan for Halloween, I think it's what really
That's
That
what
was-
sealed the deal.
And she, no joke, told me, you know, I really wanted to hate you. I
says that all the
wanted to
time.
hate you.
And then you
I tell
wrestled. And then
everyone.
you wrestled.
Well,
Yeah.
that was, after the wrestling. She said, I really wanted to hate you, but
Whenever someone's like, "So Ryan," I'm like, you
Go
know,
ahead.
I tried so hard to hate him.
So hard.
Like it,
Not a lot of people say that. That's so
I
interesting.
tried so
but-
hard, and then he kind of
but-
like just sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
You know. And I hate you.
what
again.
was it? What was the moment? What was the moment?
Most recently, the mustache.
Danger zone.
Danger zone.
Typical. Well, hey, check out Jordan Rose photography post.
The
Or
marriage
photos.
episode.
Apparently.
I mean, I guess. Any parting words from our guest, Jordan Rose Albright?
Thanks for having me. I should maybe watch this sometime, huh?
No, you don't have to. It's not
You
like
probably
a
shouldn't.
Okay.
prerequisite or anything.
To be fair, you could have won $10.
No, it was
Several
it was
different
like
times.
50.
Oh,
You guys
50
upped
bucks?
it, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened.
it's all right.
I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
Once again.
Once again, who cares?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, it's just one of those like evergreen episodes, you know?
Yeah.
We'll look back, track the old relationship. You guys think
Don't
you're
dare
gonna
call
last
it relationship.
I hope so.
this little situation here?
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
That's the plan.
What about you guys?
Eh.
Yeah.
I refer to and Cara has I kind of pissed off Cara, so I've stopped doing it, but I keep referring to like Cara's next husband, like after I like
It's 'cause you
tragically
died doing
I
some
tragically
stupid
died.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that well, I all the time I'm like, so like your next
Like multiple.
your
Your
next,
next husband
marriage,
will-
like, are you
yeah.
gonna? And she's
Yeah.
like, I don't think that's funny. One day she's like, I don't think that's funny, and you need to stop talking about it. I'm like,
Honestly, we love a
Fair.
hard boundary.
I mean,
okay?
we do. We love a good hard
right.
boundary.
I don't think it's funny, and please stop talking about it. And you're not my little princess anymore, okay?
Dang.
Got him.
Do you think you've become her little princess since?
Yes.
Like just in that moment you weren't?
Yes, definitely. Just in that moment.
Oh,
Except looking back at all those pictures, she's like, that's so ugly. I'm like, that's so cute. They're so cute.
Yeah, you were ahead of your time.
knew what you were
I
The
doing.
short
was.
bangs
I was.
thing.
Yeah.
yeah, I was.
Well, from all of us here, make sure you leave your pineapple at the door, and we'll see you next week on
What the Podcast?